Greetings everyone, this is Connor from Dagora TV. In this video, we're talking about Bethesda doing an E3 press conference in 2019. So at least we found out that there's going to actually be some people attending E3 this year. After hearing that Sony aren't doing it, I think there's a lot of worry about people attending E3, but we know for sure that Microsoft are doing E3, we know EA aren't doing E3, and Bethesda are doing E3 this year. And that's what we're talking about. Bethesda have just confirmed today that on Sunday, the 9th of June at 5:30 PM Pacific time, they will having their E3 press conference. For the British people like me, that is going to be Monday morning, early Monday morning, 1:30 AM. Not too bad though, they've had worse times for that before when they've had later on the Sunday in E3 over in LA. But I was quite surprised they announced that they're doing an E3 press conference after the whole Fallout 76 debacle last year and the controversy around the game being not very good, being terrible, and all the updates around it, you know, not helping the bug situation, the immediate updates after the game. But then as well, all the controversy around the soft currency in the game, the atoms, and also the collector's edition bag. I thought it would have been maybe a Bethesda decision to go away for a little while and kind of be quiet. We've kind of seen they've been a lot quieter on Twitter, especially people like Pete Hines. You know, we're not hearing a lot from them in regards to, you know, updates of what we're getting from Bethesda. What we tend to normally get is normally out there answering questions and everything, but we're not really been seeing a lot of that so far since Fallout 76 came out. So I thought they might have gone away and be quiet, but that's not what we've got at all. We're getting a full press conference, it seems, and also we're going to be having a Bethesda Day at PAX East as well at the end of this month, at the end of March 2019. So by all means, it definitely seems that Bethesda are going to be continuing on the trail of announcing and showcasing things and everything like that. But then another reason why I thought that they wouldn't be doing an E3 conference this year is that they didn't really have that much to talk about, or really anything in terms of surprises, I suppose. But let's go into kind of what we can expect, or what we can predict. So what we can expect is that we're going to get a mention and a in-depth look of Doom Eternal from id Software. We know this is kind of the like Doom 1.5. No, I think they said it's not necessarily a Doom sequel, but it is another big Doom game, so I suppose it is kind of a sequel. So yeah, Doom Eternal, will be getting a look into that. We'll most likely get a release date for that as well. If I had to guess, I'd probably say end of this year, 2019, if not early 2020, because then we're going to be start leaking into the next consoles, or what we all expect the next consoles to come out in 2020. Also from id as well, they'll probably talk about Rage 2, because Rage 2 is coming out in May, which is just before E3, so, you know, a way to kind of market that a bit more and, you know, talk about the possible early success figures that they've got from it and everything, and maybe talk a little bit about a couple of updates they're about doing for Rage 2, so just a way to get Rage 2 out there and get people talking about it a little bit. So I think that's kind of all we can really expect from id. We'll probably get the Quake Champions update as well, that we tend to get every year, that we just kind of sit through, but Doom Eternal is probably going to be the landmark of the conference for what they're going to talk about at E3 this year, mainly because, you know, Doom was very successful, and I'm looking forward to Doom Eternal, and I'm looking forward to see what it's going to look like and see how the level design really is going to be taken from the first game, and see how much bigger they can make it, because that's something that tends to happen in these sort of games, you know, especially with Bethesda. You know, like Dishonored to Dishonored 2, the level design was something that really grew and got a lot better in the sequel. I'm hoping that that's going to be the case as well for Doom Eternal. From Arcane, I think what we can expect from Arcane is an update for Prey. I think that's something that could happen. Maybe a new game announcement as well. The update for Prey thing, I think that's going to be designed around the multiplayer mode that they had going on that they announced last year. Talk a little bit about that. Possibly a new game announcement, because I know they have two Arcane teams. They have one in the US and one in France, I believe. So having one to maybe focus on making a new game would be interesting, and see what that's going to be like. Cause it's been a little while now since Dishonored 2. You know, it's going to be nearly 3 years into 2019. Yeah, definitely going to be an update from them for a new game announcement. Prey was the last game that the other team made, I believe, which was 2017. So maybe it was 2018 when they brought that back. We'll have to see. But the other team at Arcane, the main team, the Dishonored 2 team, we'll see what they make. I don't think it's going to be another Dishonored game. I think it's going to be a new IP. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye out to see what that's going to look like. Machine Games probably get a release date for Youngblood, Wolfenstein Youngblood. They did confirm to us that recently Bethesda that Wolfenstein 3 is in development. I don't think we'll hear about anything of that sort yet. Youngblood, I think, is what we'll hear about soon. If we do hear about Wolfenstein 3, I think it'll just be a teaser trailer, just a little announcement trailer. I don't think there'll be any substance to it of anything, no release date or anything like that. I think that's something that's going to be on the next generation of consoles, whereas Youngblood is going to be kind of Machine Games' farewell to this generation. And I think we'll definitely get a good gameplay chunk of that and a little bit more detail on the story, because all we know is it's set in the 80s, I think they said, and it's twins, it's a co-op experience, but you can also play it on your own, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more Wolfenstein on that front. ZeniMax Online Studios, I think what we'll get from there is probably an update on the next installment of the Season of the Dragon, because the first one is coming out just before E3. It's coming out on June 4th, the Elsewhere update. So I think we'll get a little bit more updates for Elder Scrolls Online in that sense. Maybe a little trailer, a little small indication of what the next one is, but also marketing as well, the Elsewhere update as well, because that's going to be very much relevant. I don't think we'll definitely not get anything like a release date of the next Season of the Dragon Peaks or anything like that. I think this is just going to be more around Elsewhere, and maybe a little teaser announcement for the next one as well, or where the next area of land is going to be, or if it's just going to be all around Elsewhere. I don't know. We're going to have to see about that. I'm going to have to look up a little bit more into this Elsewhere update for Elder Scrolls Online, because I haven't really seen I've not really looked up that much about it. I was really happy with how Somerset turned out. I played a lot of Somerset, but I've kind of not played the game a huge amount this last couple of months, so I'm going to have to go and check that out and see more on the update of what that's going to be like. Tango Gameworks, I think it's safe to assume that we could get some form of announcement from them this year. You know, it's been 2 years since The Evil Within 2, so maybe The Evil Within 3 could be announced, or another game that they could possibly make that's away from The Evil Within 2. We'll have to see about that, because I know The Evil Within 2 did not do as well as Bethesda was expecting, so I'll be surprised if there is an Evil Within 3, but I suppose we can imagine it's going to be some form of horror-like Japanese-inspired game, you know, that we can get from Tango Gameworks, you know, with the studio being out of Tokyo. So we'll have to definitely see what they're going to be doing this year, but I think we can get something of the sort announced from Bethesda this year at their press conference, just to give the press conference a bit more substance to it, a bit more identity, because what I'm seeing so far is just kind of expansion talk and Doom Eternal, really. That's kind of really all we're getting in a possible Arcane announcement. But then we'll go to Bethesda Game Studios, the Homeboys, as they're called, and yeah, like, we'll have to see what these guys are going to be doing, because I think the Elder Scrolls Blades, I think, is going to be out by then. The Elder Scrolls phone game, I think we're going to get the release date from that at PAX, and we'll have to be able to just talk about that a lot more after that when we see more gameplay, and then they hopefully get release date soon, because that game was meant to be out end of last year, but then they pushed it back because they said that it wasn't ready, probably because they took members from the development team to work on Fallout 76 updates straight after the game was launched. Fallout 76 was launched. We'll have to see about that. But yeah, Blade should be out by this E3 in my opinion, so I don't think we'll get an update on that. Just maybe a little marketing push to say that we've released it, blah 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 blah. They'll definitely talk about Fallout 76. There's probably some statistics to make them look good about how many players are still there, whatever, and now it's doing fantastically well, or whatnot. You know, trying to hide the fact that it's been a failure, really. But then they'll talk a little bit about content updates for it as well. Maybe a large expansion, possibly. I don't think there'll be a paid one, let's put it that way. I think they did say all content updates would be free, but I don't think we'll be getting a major paid expansion yet for Fallout 76. But they'll definitely talk about it. I wouldn't be surprised if they kept it to a minimum, mainly because of how the reaction to that game is kind of gone from being really overwhelmingly negative to just no one talking about the game at all, which I think was Bethesda's worst idea for the game to kind of go like that. We're not really hearing any redemption stories for Fallout 76 yet, but this could be the start of it, and they could talk about what they want for 76 and for the future and their plan for it, their roadmap, I suppose. But I would be holding my breath for that. And also as well, I'm not expecting a Starfield release date yet. Is it possible? I'd say it is possible, but I don't see it happening yet, I'll say. We did know that last year Starfield was playable last E3, but there was also this talk about not knowing which console it was going to be coming on. They don't know if it was going to be this generation or next generation. I don't think it'd be the smartest Bethesda decision to have it on this system yet, if you know what I mean, because, you know, I want them to take the time to make Starfield fantastic, because there's going to be a lot of skeptical eyes looking at Starfield. If Starfield isn't anything other than amazing, people are going to really tarnish that game and really have a go at it. So I'll be very surprised if Starfield is released this year, or we get a release date, because when Bethesda announce release dates for their games, they tend to be within a year of the press conference. You know, they're not the kind of thing where they give a release date for, you know, 2021 or something like that. Last year was kind of a break of trend for them when they announced the Elder Scrolls 6, but by no means did we get a release date. So I'll be surprised if we get any update on Starfield, because Todd did say in an interview with Jeff Keighley that when they showcase their games again, they want it to be close to the release date. So we'll have to wait and see about that. And I'm not expecting anything at all for the Elder Scrolls 6. I don't even expect we'll get another trailer. I think the Elder Scrolls 6, they'll just say, if they do anything, they'll say, yeah, we're still working on it, blah, 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 blah. But that's all we can really expect from that, because I don't see how they can really talk about anything yet when, you know, Starfield is released, and if they were to release Starfield, that's going to be their main focus. I'll be surprised if they announce Test 6, let's put it that way. Oh, sorry, if they announce anything more for Test 6, that's what I'll be surprised about. But let me know what you think's going to be happening at E3. I think I'm going to put my bets on another game from Arcane's going to happen this year, and that's what I'm going to kind of blank and put my money on to be the big update. I'm not putting any money on Starfield having a release date, but it is a possibility. I'll say it is possible. I'd say from the Bethesda Game Studios, if we're going to get any form of surprise from them, that's going to be the surprise. But let me know what you think is going to happen at the press conference this year, and I will speak to you in the comment section below, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.